hopefully you guys enjoy this little market review session live stream where I just kind of go through price action and be listening to music as you guys know the drill. But yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it. The convos in the Discord are getting pretty fun. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start playing some music in my AirPods. Highly recommend you guys listen to your music. Obviously, I can't play music on the live stream because I'm gonna get copyrighted. So, yep. Hang on, deciding what to play. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's do this. So, officially reviewing the market. Oh, dang, this song's good. All right, let's do this. So, let's take a look at what happened. Let's get out our folder for today. Need to name a new folder for today. $10.27.25. 10/27/25, so Monday. Yo, what up, John? How's it going, bro? We're locked in. We're ready to go. We're gonna be reviewing price action for today. Like I was just saying, today's wasn't no news Monday, but there's always opportunity, always things to review, always things to learn. So we are still gonna review the market. Just mark this. Made a new folder for today. As I said before, I'm going to be listening to music. I wish I could play music on the live stream, but obviously I'm going to get copyrighted. So I highly recommend you guys listen to your own music. And yeah, let's lock in here. So why am I looking at Bitcoin? What the heck? Alright, let's lock in. Good, how are you? Dude, I'm good. I'm good. We just move forward one day at a time. One day at a time. So obviously, we've been expanding today. We had this giant expansion higher in the last day. And, well, a big reason for this, as I said last week when I took this 1-to-1 inversion on the 8-hour, right? I said that this was likely going to be a nice inversion for value gap. We were delivering from this daily void here, right? So you can kind of see how the narrative played out. We had a daily void, so daily volume imbalance, and notice how I'm not calling it new day opening gap, because this is different than a new day opening gap, just barely, because new day opening gap is from 17 to 18, but these daily candles show 16 to 18. All right. So there's that daily volume imbalance, and then right here we have a reclaimed daily gap. So you start to see how everything kind of fit together, and then the 8-hour got inversed, so we're delivering from these two confluences, and then bang. Inversion for value gap. When this 8-hour closed, I was like, yo, we're going to go crazy. We're going to go crazy. So I took this as a 1-to-1 across my top steps, and you guys know this, right? I took this as 1-to-1. Obviously, I knew we were going to go much higher, but for the sake of not holding over the weekend, I just targeted 1-to-1. And yeah. Because this was an 8-hour trade, and I can't really... Yeah, I'm not going to hold over the weekend. So, I mean, that kind of just goes without saying, because you can't really do that on prop firms. Honestly, it's hard to do that regularly. But yeah, so you can kind of see the narrative behind this idea, right? We had a daily fair value gap. When you look at it in detail, it starts to make a lot of sense. Like, oh yeah, we had a daily fair value gap. We were delivering from a daily volume balance, right? You see what I'm saying? And so then, because of that, well, we get this inversion. We have low resistance highs. And guys, not only is this a daily fair value gap, this is a reclaimed daily fair value gap. And this signature in price where we come down, manipulate these old lows and then reclaim a gap like this. Oh man, that's nice, guys. Remember this signature for the future. It's nice. So reclaimed. And so hopefully that kind of makes sense to you why we've been expanding so much, because we reclaimed this old daily fair value gap. We come down, take liquidity from over here. Yeah, and then we push back up, reclaim the old fair value gap and also this fair value gap. Then we get this inversion, right? And then you can see this is 3R if you had held over the weekend. I kind of thought we would probably get this expansion, but to continue for like 3R, but I'm not gonna hold over the weekend, so there was nothing I could do. So there's that 8-hour inversion. Very, very nice, right? And yeah, so it makes sense. Like, why did we go higher here? When you look at it like this, it's just, oh yeah, this makes total sense, right? All this was low resistance. And then, rocket fuel, right? As I always say, these low resistance highs end up being rocket fuel for the market to expand higher. You see what I'm saying? Bang. So there we go. LRLR there. And then expansion, right? Okay, let's go ahead and screenshot this. Hopefully this makes sense. Why did we expand the last couple days, and why? Well, obviously, you know, we had the new week opening gap that helped out a little bit, but like we had this really nice inversion for value gap that got reclaimed, and the daily for value gap that got reclaimed. So 8-hour inversion going into the weekend. It helps explain the aggressive expansion, right? So yeah, hopefully you guys see this, by the way, like from an AMD perspective. Accumulation, this whole entire range is accumulation. You see how long the market accumulated? Accumulation, accumulate, manipulate, distribute. You see that? See how all of these people within this range become liquidity at this low? This is how you want to think about the market. You want to think about it as a giant machine moving to basically make as many people lose as possible. So all the people in this range get manipulated out of this low, and then expansion on the right hand side of the curve. So accumulation, and then we will go on the lower time frame chart, but I just kind of want to start out on the higher time frame, kind of go through like why everything's been happening the way that it is, and yeah. But yeah, obviously this was manipulation, and yeah, the body close, guys. This is still obviously manipulation. Sometimes you just got to use common sense, right? So there we go. Manipulation of that low. Accumulation, manipulation. And then now we've been on the right-hand side of the curve. We've been expanding higher. You can see what's this, right? This is inducement. By the way, we manipulate the true month open right there. Coincidence? No. True month open was right here. This gets induced. True opens are very important. Alright, hopefully this kind of makes sense. Now you can see the right hand side of the curve here. all of a sudden it looks pretty beautiful, right? Accumulation, manipulation. Let's go ahead and screenshot this. So we're still in distribution. I don't know how far we go. We could keep going up, right? As far as I know. I don't know. But as I said before, I'm listening to my own music, guys. I highly recommend you guys listen to your own music as well. Because I can't play music here. Alright, you starting to see what I'm getting at? This is the higher time frame, right? And we can find our higher time frame PD array. This was obviously a gap here. So we could look at that. So higher time frame going into today. Right? This was obviously probably like a weekly gap. So merge these, merge this and this. What do you get? Squish all these candles together, all of a sudden it's a weekly Fervaya gap. You see that weekly PD array that got used, this weekly gap? So, once again, I break the rules because I conceptualize a Fervaya gap. What even is a gap? It's a gap. So, from here to here, weekly gap. And you're going to find way more accuracy. So, weekly Fervaya gap. And now you start to see how the market interacts with this, right? So once again, higher time frame. This includes that weekly gap. But the key is once you identify manipulation, you just got to get on side with that distribution. So higher time frame number 2, including higher time frame PD array. So yeah, I mean, when you look at this inversion, tell me you don't think that we're going to go higher when you see this. When I saw this, I took this 1-to-1 across the accounts. I mean, objectively, this was really obvious, this inversion. It just was, right? I saw this inversion. I took advantage of it. I'm glad that I took advantage of it. Still not enough to pass the counts yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. So yeah, you might be wondering, okay, assuming that's a weekly gap, how do I take a trade on the higher time frame? Actually, you know what? I'm going to look at this, actually. So, once again, down close candle is an order block interchangeable with change in state. We induce the low. We induce this low below the change in state, which was below the true month open, below the true week open, below the true day open, below the true session open. And you start to see why this inducement ended up playing out the way that it did, right? It was below every single true open. Don't believe me? What's this? This is true month open right here. Sunday, 18 o'clock. Okay. Alright, then where was the true week open? Monday, 18 o'clock. That's up here. I'm not going to draw that out, but you guys just have to, like, you can clearly see that's a true week open. True day open, what's that? Midnight. Where's midnight? It's within this. See there's midnight's within there, and then what's the next one? 130. 130 is right there. We induce the low. Every single true open gets manipulated, and then expansion. Coincidence? No. No. It's just not a coincidence, right? It's just how these markets move, right? So, accumulation, manipulation, inducement. This was the high probability entry. I would enter this flow state, but entry as an inducement of a old low, or in this case, old bodies. That's how I would take this. Okay, once again, that is where I would enter. Let's get rid of the rest of this. Whoops. So if I was to take this on the higher time frame, this would be a very high probability entry. Right here. Inducement of this low, stop at the end of that red thing. Alright. And then we could project out the down close candle. Let's just say we took it out 2 projections. Bang, that would have got hit over the weekend. So okay, we'll get into the low time frame, but it's just annoying because low time frame there was probably not that great of opportunities just because it was no news Monday. We were expanding to the upside at all-time highs. I mean, let's be real, that's not really great conditions to take a trade in. That's just not. So bang. This is how I would take a higher time frame trade here. So I would take this as a flow state, right? Higher time frame PE rate weekly, 4-hour change in state of delivery, but I would enter via an inducement of an old low, or in this case, old bodies. That's what I'd do. So flow state inducement. So higher time frame trade here, flow state inducement. Let's record this down. So I'm just going to put here Friday, October 17th. Flow state inducement. Weekly 4-hour. And then I'm going to put in brackets high time frame. Alright. So that's the higher time frame for you. That's kind of why we've been expanding. Hopefully that makes sense. As well, I mean, like I was saying before, this is like propulsion block vibes. I was saying this from the very beginning. I was like, guys, this is an OB. This is a PB. You guys see the propulsion block, right? Actually, let's mark this out now real quick. Right? This is an OB. Right? OB. The final down close candle that took liquidity. That's not the one I want. So this is an OB. This is a PB, right? Propulsion block. So you see how we barely use that top 10% of it. That's exactly what you want to see with the propulsion block. It's exactly what you want to see. Four-hour OB. And then 4-hour PB. It's exactly what you want to see, right? Yeah, observe here. Let's actually go like this. Observe how we barely use the top of it. This is exactly what you want to see, right? Hey, what up, Kirk? Good to see you, bro. You're second. You're second. But we're looking at a higher time frame right now because during the day today, it's just like, obviously, we're just at all-time highs expanding. So, I don't know. It's just not... Probably won't be a ton of good stuff to look at, so I'm just starting out at the higher time frame, but I will get to the lower time frame. But I'm basically looking right now at, hey, yo, this is... First, I observed how this is a 4-hour market maker buy model with a weekly fair value gap. And then I observed, yo, this is an OB. We took the low of this range. Then we have another one, and I'm merging these candles together because I'm conceptualizing a propulsion block. I'm not taking it literally, right? OB, PB, look at the top of it, right? Perfect propulsion block right there. Conceptualize the market. Do not take it literally. If you take the market literally, you will get wrecked. So, nice 4-hour propulsion block. So let's say we were taking this as Dynamis, because I did note this out as a propulsion block. 4-hour propulsion block out of the weekly gap. Aggressive expansion. Okay. I'm not saying we would take this, because once again, I wanted to take the 15-minute, what's it called? TJR also killed the market today. I saw a bit of his market recap. I skipped to the end, or skipped to where he took the trade. But yeah, I kind of put my thoughts in the Discord, in the chat. But like, where he entered was like, no, it was the other way around. He kind of got killed. Unfortunate. I feel bad, but you know, it is what it is. It's just part of trading, you know. But where he entered was kind of like a low time frame long entry, and I talked about it in the Discord a little bit. I could show you a little bit if you want. Let me know if you want me to take a look at it. But yeah, 4-hour OB. Or was it the other way? Oh my gosh, you're funny. You're funny. So, membership fees, they might be. They might be. Bro, you're funny. But yeah, look, 15-minute change in state. See how we induced this low perfectly into the change in state? Very nice flow state inducement. Anyway, I'm gonna just go to low time frame today because I feel like that's enough higher time frame. But you guys get the point, right? There's a reason for why we aggressively expanded. We got this inversion. We expanded off a propulsion block. It was a higher time frame AMD, right? We get the whole higher time frame. So we will go to lower time frame, but first I'm gonna take a bathroom break and then I'll come right back. Alright, back. Okay, what do we have on the lower time frame? Well, obviously we had an expansion day. We kind of explained why, right? We had that 4-hour inversion. We gapped up. We were delivering from propulsion block, so it makes sense. What, right? Why did the market expand today? It's just higher time frame narrative. We had a propulsion block, inversion for value gap, obvious buy model, right? That's why the low time frame went up. So with that in mind, we could have anticipated today to, well, be high resistance. And so, yeah, I guess you really should not have been surprised that the market was doing what it did, right? So, let's mark this out. With the higher time frame in mind, you could anticipate the lower time frame to likely be high resistance because we were expanding. You get what I'm saying? Oh man. So when the higher time frame is expanding, the lower time frame liquidity is going to be high resistant because people are going to be trying to short, right? But the higher time frame is not bearish. So every single time we go down, it's being resistant. It's high resistant liquidity. Let me keep going up. Higher time frame in mind, you could expect lower time frame to be high resistance. All right. Okay, yeah, where do we go from here? I'm not gonna lie, guys. I guess we'll just look around. So yeah, high resistant liquidity. You just kind of had to know that for today. That was the key. With that in mind, I guess there was opportunities. 4:15 a.m. Sure, let's look at this one at 4:15. Right, what happened here? You can clearly see we were high resistant. So we'll start out by looking at like this, right? Market was being high resistant. So we know, okay, if the market's bullish, we're probably not going to go lower. So let's actually take a look at what gaps we got to the upside. We got this gap. Once again, the way I like to mark this out is I like to mark out gaps like this, right? And all of a sudden, this is way more precise. You see what I'm saying? And I'd actually merge those two candles together as well. Way more precise of a gap. So now we have this 15-minute fair value gap, which is in discount of this price leg right here. This is in discount of this, right? So it's a now you could argue, oh, but you're not in discount of this. Once again, it's all about context. The higher time frame's expanding, so I'm going to use this price leg. It's context. So 15-minute discount for value gap right here. High resistant liquidity, and we could just drop down to 1 minute. We could look at, okay, where was the true open? Oh, would you look at that? It's almost like the true open helped us out with identifying that this was likely to be manipulation, right? Do you see how the true open helped us here? Do you see how the true open helped us? 130. Let's actually just get this showing up here. Do you see how the true open helped us identify this was likely to be the manipulation leg? This is why true opens are so helpful. So manipulation of 130. We sweep out the lows here. Once again, you had to understand the higher time frame context, which is its high resistant liquidity. Let's just get rid of that. It's always interesting to look at new day opening gaps. Interesting to look at session stat map. We were in statistical discount, but nothing crazy. Alright. So 15-minute discount for value gap. Then what happens, right? We had high resistant liquidity. So what is this? Manipulation. We could look for SMT as well. Let's look for SMT. And guys, I might trade London tonight. I don't know. I could if I want to. So for 90-minute SMT, what are we gonna need? SMT with the second quarter, which would be 130 to 3. So let's go and see if that happens. We had SMT with this low. So there was SMT, but I don't think it was time-based. It was just regular SMT, right? You see this? SMT right there. I guess it kind of was. It was like a 6-hour SMT, huh? So that actually kind of does make sense. When you look at it like that, it kind of makes sense. Okay. 130 true open manipulated. Yeah, right now I'm just doing a review of the market. I'm not trading right now. Let's just mark this out as just a regular SMT. I could trade London tonight though, maybe. I don't know. If I'm up, maybe I'll live stream it from my bed. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So 130. What's the next true open? Hey, what up, Javier? Good to see you, bro. You're third, bro. You're third. No, fourth. You're fourth, but still. we appreciate you, bro. Okay, so the true 90-minute open. We have 322 right here. That was useful for the short. I don't think that was very useful for the long. For the long, yeah, the 90-minute true open was not that helpful until later on. Until later on, then the 452. The 452 was helpful right here, right? That was helpful to figure out the next leg higher, but let's just use the old. As far as I'm concerned, we're gonna use the old true open from the previous cycle. So shorts looking nicer now, bro. You, I don't know, man. Higher time frame is obviously in deep expansion. I just I don't know. I'm not even looking at the market right now. I'm not even gonna lie. And then I guess, yeah. So this is a very good observation, actually, right? Since we haven't had the next true open, we're still referring back to the previous cycle's true open. Interesting, right? We are referring back to the previous cycle's true open. And this is something that I've been backtesting a little bit, and I just take note, observe, and from what I've seen, it's useful, right? It's useful to refer back to the previous cycle's true open. So let's go ahead and screenshot this. Okay, so then the next one, 4:30. Do you take a trade today? No trades for me today. No trades for me today. I noted a few things. Why don't you use magnet? What do you mean I do use magnet? Like, look, when I'm drawing like that, I use the magnet. I don't know what you mean. Okay. So then what's the 22-minute true open? And so you might yeah, so what would be the 22-minute true open? It'd be the start of 4:30, so 4:30. So we got to go out 6 minutes. 4:31, 4:32, 4:33, 4:34, 4:35, 4:36. Sorry if that I don't I'm sorry if I'm not being helpful, but I don't know. I don't know what you're referring to. 4:36. And what you see happens at 4:36, guys? At 4:37. Right? 4:37, we come down to this fair value gap, which is probably 2022 model on like the 15 second. So 4:36. Crazy, huh? This is genuinely, the precision is unbelievable. And honestly, you don't really need to go below 22-minute true opens. That alone is going to make your precision so unbelievable. It's insane. Like that is ridiculous. You see this, right? We're below 1, 2, 3 consecutive true opens. We get a low time frame 2022 model. And then what's this? That's probably going to be a 15-second 2022 model. We're going to go jump down to the lower time frame and verify that, but it's looking good. Okay, so 4:36, bang, 4:37. True opens in London session. So let's drop down to a 15-second chart here, and you can kind of start to see what I'm getting at, right? And let's make sure we have this template saved, because I've probably never used this before. Yeah, like I thought. Never used it once, which makes sense. It's just a pretty unique true open, honestly. All right. So what happens, right? Let's actually use the 30-second. Right? We get break of this high for value gap. And you see how it is exactly when we would expect it to happen. It's exactly when. The market is perfect, guys. The market is perfect. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But the market is perfect. So let's actually get rid of this high resistant liquidity curve. So 15-minute discount for value gap. Let's just make this a little bigger here. Okay, so low time from sweep, break of this high. We actually might rebalance perfectly to equilibrium. You can't make it up. You can't make it up, bro. And once again, I would not use this price leg because I want to use the one with the displacement. But even if you did use this one, it still rebalanced to it. How perfect can that be? It doesn't get more perfect than that, guys. It doesn't get more perfect than that. So why are we not locked in right now? We got to lock in because these markets are perfect. Right? So 30-second 2022 model. You see it? You know, it'd be crazy if this was a GB partition. I'll look at it in a second. Let's not even have equilibrium there because it's just too much stuff on the chart. So you start to see how you could have taken this. Crazy precise. The precision is crazy precise. This is why you just gotta watch London. Watch London opens, right? What time is 4:37? Let's see. 7 plus 3 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. Nah, not a 369 time. Still though. So this is LRLR, this is rocket fuel. Honestly, we might just have to start renaming LLR to rocket fuel. Where's the rocket at? It should be in rocket. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we start to see it. So we would want to align this with the 1 minute, but still, I just want to show you the 30-second 2022 model first. So you could take profit right there. What is that? That's the perfect spot to TP, is it not? Now you see what I'm saying. All of a sudden you see what I'm saying. Okay. So this is a 2022 model on the 30-second. Notice how equilibrium gets hit perfectly. So 437 2022 model, 30-second. Aligned with quarterly theory, right? So let's actually just see if there was a 1 minute change in state, because that's the obvious entry, right? If we have a 1 minute change in state off a 15-minute gap, that's obviously the no-brainer entry. So interesting. Once again, it kind of depends on how aggressive you want to be, right? Theoretically, I mean, we have a change in state right there on the 1 minute. I wouldn't take that. That's not obvious. Obviously, this ended up working, but I'm not suggesting that this would be what you would take. Kind of scary for me. And then by the time we get this 1 minute change in state, I mean, this could end up working. It could have ended up working out, but I don't know. It's kind of a little too high. I don't know. Maybe you could take that. It's probably just not worth it for me, so I probably wouldn't take that. But okay, so let's look at this entry, right? So we had identified this as a buy model at this point. And you might be wondering, why didn't we take midnight? Well, S&P took midnight. That's why. S&P took midnight. So, and you don't even have to take midnight if it's that bullish, but S&P did take midnight. So, let's get rid of that. So, what's the next true open? 452 for the 22 minute, right? So, now we mark that out. Time-based premium and discount, guys. That's the secret. So that's not a 22-minute open. $4.52 is a 90-minute open. So we got to resave this. this. So at this point, we're looking for inducement on the right hand side of the curve. We could identify this as a 1 hour gap. So let's actually do that real quick. And with that in mind, we could identify this as what? A 5-minute change in state. Yo, what up, Julian? How's it going, bro? Just reviewing the market today. I don't know. I've been kind of stuck on London session, but we'll get to New York. I might start trading London session more often. But the issue is, I'm probably supposed to be asleep. But I don't know. I like how simple London session can be. Like, it can really be just, oh wow, 5-minute change in state off a 1 hour gap. Say less. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is just obvious. I'm good, bro. I'm good. But that's why I like London, is just because London can have a lot of simplicity that New York might not necessarily have. Now, it just kind of depends. Okay, so here's 5-minute change in state off of 1 hour for value gap, and you could mark it out as this, right? That also is change in state. That would have been a lower entry, but for the sake of the context of this, we're going to mark it out like this. 5-minute CSD. So let's drop down to a lower time frame. Back down to the 1-minute chart. Now all this is low resistance. So what is this, guys? It's a low time frame AMD. So accumulation, and technically this is inducement, right? Lower time frame, accumulation, inducement, distribution. So you're starting to see what I'm getting at. So 452, we're below the true open. All right, let's look at the 22-minute true open if we had one here. Let's see. So 515, that's the halfway point in the 90-minute cycle. Okay, what about 521? That's what we're going to want to refer back to. Notice how 521 is the top of the manipulation leg before we move lower. That's not a coincidence, right? I always love making new templates because it means I'm learning. It means I'm observing something new in the market that I've not observed before. So you're starting to see what I'm seeing here. So higher time frame, on the higher time frame, this is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. On the lower time frame, this is accumulation, inducement, distribution. See how we've aligned time and price here? So accumulation, manipulation, accumulation, inducement. We should probably move on to New York session, but I don't know. Sometimes it's just interesting. You just gotta look around. How long you been doing this? I've been trading. Well, I've been. Let's see. What month is it? What month is it? October. It's almost November. So I've been trading 27 months, but I've been into like the markets probably for like 6 or 7 years because I've been into crypto since 2019 or 2020. So 27 months since I started trading, but I've been into the markets since I've been into the markets for 6 years. See how perfect these markets are? You see it? Right. Accumulation, manipulation, lower time frame accumulation, inducement, and then expansion. How long you been profitable? I'm semi-profitable, like full transparency. I'm still working on full profitability, but I have gotten payouts. I have gotten funded. Partially back towards getting another few funded accounts here shortly, and yeah, but I have gotten funded, have gotten payouts. I've been funded $800,000. So yeah, it's a long journey. But yeah, I've been basically I got those payouts back earlier this year. So probably this year is since when I started getting semi profitable, I would say. But as always, no one's perfect. I'm a human, just as everyone else is. Look at that, though. Look at how we induced the low. By the way, what happens here? Oh, man. I was thinking maybe we rebalanced the equilibrium. Still pretty cool, right? We didn't need to. This was good enough. By the way, what happened here, by the way? This is probably a Reaper gap right here. Alright, anyway, let's move on. How much of the payouts? I've gotten 3,600 in payouts total. So here. So London, I'm just going to record this as London market maker buy model. Alright, let's just say that we took this as a flow state inducement. Oh, actually, this would just be regular flow state. And then look at that, 4 projections up. Let's actually measure out change in state like this. Like I told you, I'm semi-profitable, so I'm still working on it. But yeah. Alright, see how we go perfectly 4 projections up? Back down lower time frame. See how precise these markets can get, right? Whoops. But you have to mark things out correctly. I've gotten 6 payouts. Bro, everyone's on their own timeline. I'm still working on profitability. I already told you that. Okay. So 528, flow state, retest, 1 hour, aligning with the 5 minute. Bang. Craziest part about this is, look at 531. That's when we start to expand, or what's 531? That's a 9. It's crazy. That's actually so, wait, now that I think about it, that's actually so crazy. Wait, let's take a look at that. So 528 flow state retest, 1 hour, aligning with the 5 minute. Okay, so let's actually take a look into this thought. Like, what if actually we just said we're just gonna wait until 531, because 531 is a 369 time. So we observe the fact the market's pushing down, inducing this low into the change in state, but we're patiently waiting for our 369 time. 531 occurs. So right as soon as 531 occurs, which is our 369 time, that's when we enter. So this is how you time things perfectly. You see that? Oh my gosh, bro. And you see why all of a sudden I like 369 timing, right? What was that? Momentum candle right at 531. See how the market, it waited. Wow. Now that is sick. You see what I'm saying? 531. Because we obviously know this is a buy model. We obviously know. But just to make sure we're getting in at the best possible time, we wait for the digital root to equal 9. We wait. Digital root equals 9 at 531, right? Dude, that's incredible. See why we wait till 531? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Once again, 9 is the strongest 369 time. We buy at 531. We need some other confluences too. Well, no, what I'm saying is, right? Snowman, what I'm saying is we already know we already know this is going to be a likely sensitive time, or this is already going to be a likely sensitive inducement. We already have figured that out. But we're not entering until we already know this is likely an inducement on a higher time frame buy model, right? We were below 130, which is the true session open. We manipulated that. Then we were below our 90-minute true open and our 22-minute true open. We induced the low into our change in state of delivery. So we already figured that all out. We already figured out the price components, right? So now basically the way that we get absurd precision, like unbelievable absurd precision, is we can actually wait for our 369 time to occur, and right at 531, which is our 369 time, we get this momentum candle, and then that's exactly when you can enter with a high degree of confidence that we're going to expand. See that? So no, 531, it's just an additional, like, if you wanted, this is just to say you wouldn't need to take the trade like this. You could have just taken it like this, right? You could have just entered at the change in state. I'm 100%, that's 100% fine. But what I'm saying is, if you want to get like godlike precision, like precision that's people that have unbelievable precision that people can't even comprehend, you can wait for a 369 time at 531 and then enter at 531 instead, and you have no drawdown. You see why that's better? I'm not suggesting that's what we do right away, but what I'm saying is there's power to understanding that concept down the road when we keep getting better at trading, right? It's just a stepping stone is what it is. We're still getting better. I'm not saying we do this right away, but what I'm saying is if you wait to the 369 time and then you enter on that momentum candle, that's going to be no drawdown. Much more precise. So, I don't even know what to call this trade. I guess it's and I wouldn't take it like that. I would still take it like this. Nah, let's just mark this out as, we're gonna have to name this a new thing. Flow state retest aligned with time. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm just gonna save for now. I'm just gonna save it. I'm not gonna hurt my brain. I know it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy that the momentum candle off of the change in state happens right at that 369 time to the 15-second mark, right? This is perfect, but I try to explain to you guys these markets are perfect. These markets, smart money runs the market. If smart money runs the market, they kind of know a thing or two about how to run these markets. Crazy, huh? So I'm just going to call this 531. It was a flow state retest, but basically instead of taking it like normal, we basically just it was 1 hour aligning with the 5 minute, but instead of taking it like normal, we I don't know, we aligned it with the 369 time. So I'm just gonna put 369 aligned. I don't know what to call that. I'm gonna have to think about it, but yeah, crazy. All right, I'm gonna take a break, go to the bathroom. But you guys see how cool that is, right? Accumulation, manipulation, and then lower time frame accumulation, inducement. Perfectly, 531 is when the momentum candle occurs, and then we expand to the fourth projection. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I thought about it, and whenever you enter whenever I journal a trade, but the entry is using 369 precision, I'm just gonna put in brackets 369, and basically the rules for the regular stop loss don't apply to the trade, because when you enter at a 369 time, there should really almost essentially be no drawdown. So basically, it's for really only the personal accounts only. I do 369 type of trades, and it's basically microscopic stop losses only, right? Because the 369 stuff, it should be almost no drawdown, essentially. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So I guess we look at New York next. This was New York, right? Yeah, I think if I just been bullish, then I would not have had any issues, right? Because obviously the market's at all-time highs, so you just gotta be bullish. So if I just been bullish instead of bearish, you can quickly deduce that this is a fair value gap, and market all-time highs equals wants to go higher. So when you look at it like that, it's really not that surprising that we went higher, right? Should have been expecting continuation to the upside during New York. Okay, so 15-minute for value gap. What do we align that with? A 1-minute change in state. To get very precise, we use the 922 true open as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Right, so 922, where's 922? Right here. So you see how we use all the true opens in Confluence, and then bang, right? Look at that, by the way. That's pretty cool, right? Wait, let's actually just pull it up. Oh, I guess 922 is down there. Still, though. Still. So, 922. This is how we identify where manipulation occurred. We use true opens. So We could break this down to a 22-minute true open, but honestly, that's going to give me a headache. I mean, I guess you could use... What's Q3 of the 90-minute cycle? 9:45, so 9:52. So yeah, that gets used right there, right? 9:52 closes, we use the Fervai gap, and then we expand. So we want to use the one before this. Okay, 9:28. Same thing. That one's not that helpful. Okay. Anyway. So 15 minutes for once again, today was not easy. Today was hard, bro. Today was really, really hard. And no world was today easy, honestly. I don't even know. It's just, this is just very difficult. I guess, you know what? What actually kind of makes sense to me is we have 1 minute change in state, right? And then let's just say we waited for inducement below the change in state. That actually works. I like that. I actually like that a lot, actually. So inducement below the change in state. Let's project this out. 2 projections, 3 projections, 4 projections, 7 projections. Wow. That's kind of cool. Okay, so inducement occurs right here. So flow state inducement, inducing the low below the change in state. Once again, this is like a very similar trade to the other thing I talked about earlier today. Very, very difficult. Very difficult trade. What time did this occur at? 9:51. 6 plus 9 is 15. Yeah, that was a 6, bro. That was a 6. That's kind of cool, guys. 369 time. Inducement of the low at a 369 time. Bang, bang, 1 minute change in state. So the way you take this is you enter via inducement below the change in state, stop loss at the low, and then we can project out standard deviations of the change in state. 1, 2, perfectly. 3, 4. I must have measured this out kind of badly. Or not. Maybe I just suck. Okay, anyway, 4 projections is in this area, so. Honestly, though, that's not where I would target. I would just target these low resistance highs. So. Then that's just the first projection. So Yeah, guys, I'm getting tired. I might end the stream, but yeah. So flow state inducement. This is only targeting the first standard deviation, but look at that, man. Clean. Entering the trade via an inducement of the change in state of delivery. Below it, 951, which is a 369 time. 951 flow state inducement. 15-minute aligning with the 1 minute. Alright, yeah. 951 flow state inducement, 15-minute for value gap aligning with the 1 minute change in state. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream here, but every day, I swear, every single day, we just get a little bit better. A little bit better. I can feel it. And, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Note this propulsion block, by the way. OB, PB, same scenario from before. Oh, actually, you know what? I guess I'm not going to end the stream because this is a little too cool. This is a little too cool. We gotta talk about this, right? Hold up. So it's the same exact thing that we talked about with the higher time frame, but now it's on the lower time frame. We have an OB. Yeah, really quickly we're gonna look at this. OB, PB, which takes out a low into the OB. Whew! Now what's this? This is hot. This is hot. This is a sexy candle right there. That candle is, it's on fire, bro. That candle is going to be super, super sensitive. So what we have to do is we look for 15-second change of state out of the propulsion block. That's the way you take trader propulsion block. I have a video coming out on this later. But OB, PB, right? OB, PB on the 1 minute. All right. What do you guys see? You guys see and then don't even mention the first presenter for value gap. He's there too, right? So this is first strike and dynamis at the same time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. First strike and dynamis at the same exact time. The same exact time. Can't make that up. You can't make that up, right? First strike, using the first presenter for value gap, propulsion block. So OB, PB, first presenter for value gap, going down to the 15-second. This is the same trade as before. And yeah, 15-second change in state. This is first strike. This is both. It's both. That's crazy, guys. So OB, 1 minute OB, 1 minute PB. One thing you can do is you can mark this out like, wow, we barely wickened the CE of the PE. I mean, what's the term? Mean threshold of the PB. So then we take this 15-second change in state. This is my dynamis model, right? I have a video coming out on this eventually. Maybe this week, I don't know. And then, yeah, 1 minute OB, 1 minute PB. You can enter at the change state retest, or you can take it as an inducement, right? We just talked about this. We can take an entry as an inducement of this. So like this. And what time does this occur? 10:27. Oh, that would have been so cool if it was 369. Alright, anyway. Alright. So nice little Dynamis model, but entry as an inducement. So I guess we'll just call this Dynamis inducement. I've never had this happen before. So 1027 Dynamis inducement. So Dynamis-I, Dynamis inducement, entry via an inducement that changes state of delivery. Then we could also just take this as a regular one as well, right? Let's just say I took this as regular. Regular would look like this. 4 projections up of the regular would be right there. Whew, now that is clean. So once again, this is the regular version. So what is this? LRLR, rocket fuel. So stop loss goes, I'm going to put in the stop loss at the end of the body here. Okay, 1 minute OB, 1 minute PB, LRLR right there, bang. LRLR. And then expansion, right? So this is just the regular version. So 1024 Dynamis, 1 minute 15 second, and then once again, if you entered it as an inducement, it would look like that. All right, 1027. Once again, same exact trade as before, but. Alright, 1 minute aligning with the 15 second. Man, am I gonna have to specify every single time something is a like I have to do first strike close, first strike retest, Dynamis close, Dynamis retest, first strike inducement, Dynamis, I don't know, Dynamis inducement. I'm gonna have to figure that out, how I'm gonna label all of them, but I'll think about it. But yeah, I'm gonna end the stream here. Oh my gosh. Guys, every day I feel like we get a little better. Like just a little bit better, bro. Just a little bit. So we just got to keep going. We just got to keep going, man. We just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. We just got to keep going. Oh, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Got sidetracked on that last trade. Was going to end the stream, but yeah, I'm going to have to start a new notation for how to notate, because I might just do -I, -C, and then -R. But then again, people won't know what I'm talking about. I'll think about it. All right, anyway, guys, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.